Hello Bama fans. This is terrible. Deboer reveals that a key Bama player will be out due to injury. Could this hurt Bama? At the end of the video I want to see your comment and your subscription to the channel. Let's get to the news. The announcement that Kean Sabb is out for the remainder of the 2024 season is a tough blow to the Alabama football program, but it also says a lot about the resilience and collective spirit that defines the team led by Deboer. With his characteristic ability to keep the group together even in the face of adversity, Deboer continues to demonstrate why he is the right coach to lead the Crimson Tide. Kean Sabb, a player who has already proven himself on defense with 39 tackles, 2 interceptions and 4 pass deflections in just 7 games, now joins Cole Adams and K. Robinson on the list of players who will have to watch the rest of the season from the sidelines. It's a grim reminder of the unforgiving nature of football, where injuries can't spare even the most talented players. Still, Deboer's positive tone in his remarks is telling. He makes it clear that even after being sidelined, Sabb will continue to be an important part of the team. It reflects the environment the coach has built, where each player is valued not only for their contributions on the field, but also for their role as a member of the Crimson Tide family. The way Sabb has remained involved, even after his surgery and during his recovery, illustrates the level of commitment that Deboer emphasizes. It's not just about what you do on the field, but how you live the Alabama culture. And Sabb, by all accounts, is a pillar of that mindset. Another thing that deserves to be highlighted is the immediate impact of Bray Hubbard, Sabb's replacement. With 13 tackles, 2 interceptions and 2 pass deflections in just a few games, Hubbard not only filled a critical void on defense, but he also showed how preparation and teamwork are the cornerstones of a program's success. It's the kind of response every coach hopes for, but it only comes in a well-structured system like Alabama's. Defensive coordinator Kane Womack noted that Hubbard prepared himself as a starter from the beginning, and that's now paying off when it matters most. Still, the loss of a player like Sabb is significant. He's not just a physical presence on the field, he's also an emotional leader. Seeing a player return to the game despite an injury, as Sabb did against Tennessee, is inspiring to his teammates. That grit and determination leave a lasting impression. Even off the field, he'll continue to inspire his teammates with his presence and support. It's impossible to ignore how these injuries test a team's depth and spirit. But if there's one thing Deboer has demonstrated since taking over Alabama, it's that he knows how to keep the fire burning, even in the most challenging situations. He balances the toughness of the sport with the humanity needed to support his players through difficult times. The 2024 season will not only be remembered for the results on the field, but also for how Alabama handled adversity. For fans, the challenge now is to double down on supporting the team. The road ahead is full of uncertainty, but if there's one thing the Crimson Tide knows how to do, it's turn challenges into opportunities. Let's keep moving forward, overcoming obstacles. Just when the season seemed to be heading dangerously toward chaos, the Alabama Crimson Tide were reborn under the steady and visionary leadership of Deboer. After tough losses to Vanderbilt and Tennessee, it was easy for critics to assume the campaign was all but over. But in Tuscaloosa, Deboer demonstrated what separates ordinary leaders from great coaches: his consistency, a superpower that, as defensive coordinator Kane Womack described it, keeps the team together through both adversity and elation. Recent blowout victories over LSU and Mercer have not only reignited the fan base, but have put Alabama in the running for a spot in the college football playoff. This didn't happen by accident, and it certainly wasn't luck. It's the result of a relentless mindset and a consistent approach that guides the team even when the going gets tough. Womack, who left his head coaching job at South Alabama to join Deboer in Tuscaloosa, is no stranger to this leadership style. He witnessed Deboer's consistency firsthand while they worked together at Indiana and knew she could transform the Crimson Tide. And she is. Deboer is a leader who knows how to deal with human failure. His words are almost a mantra in the locker room. When things aren't perfect, it's essential that the players feel like they can come to you, he said. That doesn't mean an unrestricted tolerance for mistakes, but a human approach to correcting them. He understands that athletes are people first and foremost, and that they only perform at their best in an environment where the coach is both stable and confident. Deboer's philosophy shines through on the field. It's not just about schemes or strategies, it's about culture. Amid the inevitable noise of a pivotal season, he insists on keeping things simple. "We focus on what we're doing right now," he explained. For a group surrounded by expectations, that mindset helps silence outside distractions and bring the focus needed to execute. And so far, it's worked brilliantly. What's next, of course, is the real test. Oklahoma on Saturday and Auburn the following week present two major challenges. Despite that, Deboer remains grounded, guiding the team with the same calmness that brought them back to the top. He knows that talk of playoffs or titles right now is just a distraction. Everything will be decided on the field, and the team seems to have bought into that idea completely. If the Crimson Tide can win those two games, a CFP berth is all but certain. But Deboer isn't interested in projections or speculation. His priority is clear: building a team that plays its best football when it matters most. He's guiding his players to stay focused while fine-tuning tactical and psychological details. It's precisely that approach that makes the Tide excel when the pressure is on. Alabama is a powerhouse by tradition, but as any dedicated fan knows, tradition doesn't win games. Consistency does. That's exactly what Deboer brought to Tuscaloosa, and the results are starting to speak for themselves. He's really sparked a lot of hope for the team now, and I want to hear your thoughts at the end of the video. Still in that same context. When it comes to Alabama football, the narrative has changed. It's no longer about who's on the other side of the field, but who they are as a team. Under the leadership of Kalen Deboer, the Crimson Tide have adopted an almost philosophical approach, encapsulated in the idea of the nameless, faceless opponent. That mindset has led to a remarkable transformation since losing to Tennessee in October, with the team putting together a string of crushing results and a newfound confidence. Mercer, for example, could have been any opponent last Saturday. The 52-7 score reflects a team that plays not against an opponent, but against its own standard, the Alabama standard. Tide wide receiver Jeremy Bernard summed up that approach best: "It doesn't matter who we play. We just prepare like we're supposed to. When Saturday comes, we go out and execute to the best of our ability." That philosophy isn't just locker room rhetoric, it's a reflection of the culture Deboer has cultivated since taking over. He's brought something unique to Tuscaloosa, a leadership style that combines consistency with a businesslike approach to football. There's a focus that they bring. There's a businesslike approach where they know they have to do this: eat right, sleep right, take care of business off the field. That's led to the success they've had, Deboer explained. The numbers don't lie. Since losing to Tennessee, the Crimson Tide have outscored opponents 128-20. The defense has created 9 turnovers in 3 games, while the offense has produced more than 471 yards per game. This is a team on the rise at the most crucial time of the season. This transformation hasn't come without criticism. After tough losses earlier in the year, some fans questioned Deboer's calm demeanor. They expected emotional outbursts in press conferences, something the coach has never displayed. Instead, he's chosen to stay true to his style: focus, consistency, and hard work behind the scenes. The results speak for themselves. Since then, Alabama has not only rebounded, but dominated, knocking off teams like Missouri and LSU, making it clear that the Crimson Tide is still great Alabama. For the players, Deboer's message is clear: success depends on their own execution. Linebacker Quarusa made it clear: "At the end of the day, we feel like we're the best." That confidence isn't arrogance, but rather a belief grounded in the daily grind and commitment to excellence. That unwavering focus will be put to the test in the coming weeks, with pivotal games against Oklahoma and Auburn. Yet the team appears ready to take on any challenge. For them, it doesn't matter who's on the other side. As Jihad Campbell put it, it's about understanding a task and attacking it. Deboer, who succeeded the legendary Nick Saban, is aware of the weight of this transition. Still, he remains true to his philosophy. For me, it was just about being consistent, he said. As a leader, that's what people around you need, someone they can count on and know what to expect. That consistency, coupled with a nameless, faceless opponent mentality, is shaping a new chapter for the Crimson Tide. No matter who's on the schedule, Alabama is focused on itself, and when they play to their standard, few teams in the country can compete. Deboer's job is not just to lead on the field, but to redefine how Alabama plays football. And from what we've seen so far, he's more than up to the challenge. Let's get going! This is still weird, though. The Alabama Crimson Tide have suffered an unexpected setback in their 2025 recruiting cycle with the departure of four-star running back Anthony Rodgers. Committed to the program since June 2023, Rodgers was a key player in shaping the team's future. His decision to reopen his recruiting career raises questions, but it also highlights the complexities and dynamics of modern college football. He was the 8th best running back in his class and the 10th best prospect in Alabama, according to the 247 Sports Composite. His combination of explosive speed and agility made him a valuable recruit. He had demonstrated commitment even during the transition in leadership from Nick Saban to Deboer, which makes his decision all the more intriguing. After stints at top schools like IMG Academy and returning to Montgomery for his senior season, Rodgers had all eyes on him. However, his recent visits to Georgia and Ohio State suggested he was weighing other options. According to Rodgers, his final decision will be announced on December 4th, at the start of the early signing period, with the Bulldogs and Buckeyes now the favorites. For Alabama, Rodgers' departure is a blow, but not a disaster. The Crimson Tide's 2025 class is still strong, currently ranked 3rd in the country. Additionally, Ackland Deer, another promising running back, remains committed and could fill some of the void left by Rodgers. What Alabama is missing in Rodgers is more than skill, it's the impact a player of his quality can have on recruiting other talent. Deboer and his staff will need to act quickly to ensure that the 2025 class maintains its strength. Fortunately, Alabama's recruiting history speaks for itself. The program knows how to attract top talent, and right now the team is doing well and will attract more recruits. Rodgers' departure reflects the changes in modern recruiting. With the growth of the NIL and increased mobility between programs, players are making increasingly strategic decisions. For Alabama, this means a more competitive environment, where maintaining commitments requires not only tradition and success, but also a vision adapted to the expectations of today's athletes. After all, if there's one thing the Crimson Tide has learned throughout its history, it's how to adapt, overcome, and maintain its standard of excellence. But is it all about money now? I don't know. What do you think? Let us know.